Good morning. There I am. And welcome to our Sunday worship service. I am Ginger Yoder, and I am the Director of Faith Formation for this church. And today I will be your celebrant and co-creator of our annual bridging service. I'm a longtime UU, actually born and raised in this very church. And so this tradition holds very close to my heart as the first generation of bridgers I think that we ever did. Maybe Kate Beasley, who was in my position back then, can remind me if when we started this tradition, but it was at least, well, we won't say how many years ago. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all those who are joining us for the first time. We are so glad you are here. If you've come in person, we hope you have received a welcome packet with an information card on it. If you don't have one yet, please ask after the service. You can fill it out and put it in the offering basket or drop it off at our office on the first floor. If you're joining us online, there is a link in our website to an electronic version of that same card. Our welcoming committee members have yellow name tags, and they can answer any questions or point you to additional information. Whether you are new or not, please consider staying for coffee and conversation after the service, either downstairs or in our fellowship hall or in our Zoom. Now let us say our words of welcome together. Whether this is your first or your 1000th Sunday with us, and whether you strolled, rolled, zoomed, ran, or danced in, we are glad you chose to join us. We are one people, many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. All are welcome here. Now we'll take a moment to say hello across the technical divide. First, we are going to show the people joining us on Zoom. If you're at home, please turn on your camera. Now, people at home, wave. Hello. Now, people who are attending in the service in our building, please, it's your turn to wave. We do have a couple of announcements. The first one is from me, which is after we honor the transitions of our younger kids, they will be invited to go to some RE classes, but we're actually hoping that those in middle school and high school will stay for the service because you will be an important part of bridging our seniors, and you have an important role to play. So if you'd like to stay, if you're in middle or high school, that would be lovely. I have an announcement from Archie and then Donald.
I actually have a video announcement.
Yeah, I was going to do Donald last because it's the big one. Okay. Sorry.
So once again, I have a service auction related announcement. Due to a few late breaking donations and agreements, the total was over $17,000. And while we don't keep track of adjustments that people might work out with other people, you know, if you don't go, we sure hope you'd still donate to events and so forth. But whenever you can pay online, there's a tile out there for our service auction. And if you want to pay by check, be sure to write service auction on it, and we appreciate everybody's contributions. It was another great year. We really have a lot of fun, and it's our social circle for the year signing up. So thank you. And the sheets are downstairs over by the quilt. There's still quite a few that need to be picked up, so if you bought or sold anything, be sure to go down there and get the record. Let me know if there's a problem, but again, we don't adjust a lot of records. It's between you and the vendor, you might say. Thank you.
Okay, we have Donald from our board with an announcement that includes a video.
Good morning. My name is Donald Stanziano. I'm a member of the board, also a member of the board search committee for our interim minister. Other members of the search committee are Barbara Hellier, David Nelson, and Suzanne Senior. We all had roles to play, but I want to acknowledge Suzanne. We all did some lifting, but I believe she did the heaviest lifting. She can't be here with us today. Some of you may be familiar with this. I wasn't, but choosing an interim minister is a process that's very much guided by the UUA. They tell us what and when and how, and we follow their guidance, so we work within their parameters. So we created a congregational profile that was posted. Interim ministers can't see that until a particular date. Then they do see that, they see it, they review it. They make their decisions, communicate that to the UUA, who communicates that to us. So we could have 1 or 0 or 30 potential interim ministers. In this particular case, for us, we had 2, and we were blessed with having 2 wonderful, wonderful candidates. We went through our process in terms of checking references, doing interviews, and so on. We communicated our choices to the UUA, and they keep it simple. It's yes, no, or maybe. And we said yes, yes. We felt like there were 2 very strong candidates, and we'd be fortunate to have either one of them. So I'm going to introduce Reverend Shelley Thompson's video where she's going to say hello to all of us. And we called her, and is that the right word, Elizabeth? I guess we called an interim minister. Are we?
Well, I don't know.
We asked, and she said yes. And so we had to wait, because again, this all takes a process. So we said yes, and we had to wait for a particular date. In any case, she will be joining us on August 1st. She shared a little bit of information with us that I'm going to read to you, and then Sam, you're going to do the video of Reverend Shelley saying hello. So Reverend Shelley Thompson, she, her, will join our congregation as interim minister beginning August 1st, and we are delighted to welcome her to our church community. Reverend Shelley is known for her warm, engaging, and supportive ministry style. Ordained in 2018, she brings experience in interim ministry, faith formation, membership development, pastoral care, and collaborative leadership. Her background also includes training in multicultural ministry, anti-racism work, and community organizing. Before entering ministry, Reverend Shelley worked as a mental health therapist in counseling and social service settings, supporting at-risk youth and families, experiences that continue to shape her compassionate and thoughtful approach to congregational life. Reverend Shelley is passionate about helping congregations navigate times of transition with care, connection, and shared purpose. We look forward to welcoming her into the life of this UUCP this August.
Hello, dear ones at the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Palouse. I'm Reverend Shelley Thompson. My pronouns are she and her, and I could not be more delighted that I will be your new interim minister starting in August. I've heard such great things from your search team and from Reverend Elizabeth that I'm really excited to get to know you and learn all about the great ministries you've been doing. Transitional ministry is a time when we envision the future for your congregation, and these are especially poignant times to be doing this when we are the folks who are moving toward collective liberation in an environment that is deeply challenging, ever-changing, and increasingly strange. I am privileged that I will be able to share this journey with you, and I am deeply moved to be chosen to do so. I'm going to be sending you a lot of love as you navigate the conclusion of your long and beautiful ministry with Reverend Elizabeth. I'll be saying goodbye to the delightful people of the Palomar Unitarian Universalist Fellowship here in Vista, California, near San Diego. They send you their love. And as I drive from San Diego to Idaho, I'll be eagerly anticipating the beautiful ministry that we are going to share together on our journey. Have a great summer, my beloveds. I'll see you soon. Mwah. Be well.
I think we're so lucky to be welcoming such a wonderful interim minister, and thank you to the work of the board who made that possible for us. And here end our announcements. The land on which our church is built is part of the ancestral homeland of the Nimipu, the people, and mistakenly called the Nez Perce, or pierced noses, by the French-speaking trappers and traders. We acknowledge the land is held in sacred kinship since time immemorial. The land and its people suffered immeasurable trauma brought by Euro-American society, and we are working with its resilient peoples to show respect and contribute to the healing and nurturing of the Hizawit Weetis, the precious land, and all its peoples. We are hoping that folks joining us via Zoom have a chalice or a candle to light and something to light it with. Let's light our chalices together. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek and seek to share.
Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Dr. Elizabeth Stevens, and I am, for about one more month, lucky enough to serve as the minister here. Today's a special service, our annual bridging service. First, we celebrate and acknowledge all the children who are transitioning from one stage of their spiritual journey with us to the next. Then we shift our focus to the young people who are graduating from high school this year and mark their transition from being youth to young adult. This year we have two young people to celebrate. Lex Stewart, you want to wave, Lex? And Kaylin Phoenix. Of course, though, we don't stop growing or transitioning when we become adults, so we'll also honor those among the adults who reached a milestone this year, including me, which I did push back on, but Ginger insisted. This bridging ritual is one we offer every year. Allison Palm, Heather Concannon, and Aisha Ansano have this to say in their book, Blessing It All. On the one hand, a ritual can connect us to our aspirations, facilitating a transformation. For example, it can help us discern something or let something go. On the other hand, it can mark a transition that's already occurred, affirming a change that has already taken place, such as using a new name or pronouns, or making a commitment to a life partner. In either case, at their core, rituals create a container for change, whether that change is simple and mundane or profound and even life-changing. Rituals do not have to happen at one specific point in a transition. A ritual done prior to a transition can help ease the way into it, help us say goodbye to what we must let go of in order to grow in a new way. A ritual held in the midst of a transition can facilitate change, healing, and growth. And a ritual done after a transition can help us to process what has just happened, to more fully accept a change we did not want, or to name a new stage that we have entered. There is a reason that many religious and cultural traditions have rituals that are repeated generation after generation. Rituals connect us both to our deepest selves and to something larger than ourselves, to our community, to our faith, to the generations that have come before us and will come after us, to the grand story of the universe, and to the love that holds us and will not let us go. I like to say that a ritual is a physical representation of an internal change we're trying to make. In the case of bridging, we're releasing what was and turning toward what is. And while change always includes loss, there's joy in this movement. So today we will celebrate together. And let's begin by singing together, "Now Let Us Sing." We do have a story this morning, so if you are a younger human or young at heart and you'd like to come closer and see the pictures, come on up. And if you brought non-perishable goods for the pantry, bring it with you when you come. And now we'll take a moment to engage in the practice of generosity. For those of you who are able to make a financial contribution, the logistics will show up on your screen momentarily. We give away all of the cash from our Sunday offering to local charities whose missions align with ours. In the months that have 5 Sundays, like this one, we use the 5th Sunday for a collection that benefits the community. Today's collection, drum roll please, will go to Moscow's Parks and Recreation Commission to purchase swimming pool passes for kids from families who can't afford them. Because what would summer be without swimming at the pool? So, to donate, please indicate month of Sundays on your check or from the online drop-down menu. In the spirit of love and for the continuing work of this church, we'll now take some time and practice generosity together. The seniors we'll celebrate this morning are about to enter into a time of rapid change. They'll need to let go of much of what they know in order to embrace the unknown future. Nor are they the only ones. The only thing that never changes in life is that everything is always changing. And however much we yearn to lock things down, however tightly we cling to the present moment, to the people we love, our illusions of control, the time comes when we must let go. And it's not easy, this dance of loving and letting go. Yet we can choose to let go more easily, to hold firmly but without grasping, to let go freely with gratitude and grace, to trust that all will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. May this quiet time hold us. May we feel our hearts soften and open. May we find gratitude and grace within and amongst us, sustaining us no matter what the future holds. Let's rest in the quiet together. Amen and blessed be. The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, where I was raised, didn't actually have a bridging ceremony. I'm that old. Or maybe they had bridging ceremonies in other churches, but because I was the first person in the religious education program to graduate from high school, maybe just that fellowship hadn't heard of it. We did, though, have an annual Youth Sunday where the children and youth led the service. So picture it with me. It's 1988. I've been accepted to Yale. I have my summer job all set. I'm finishing up the last few weeks of school and preparing to say goodbye. In the midst of the whirl, we're also supposedly planning Youth Sunday, only I think I missed all of the planning meetings. My understanding as I walk into church that Sunday is that several of us are going to share reflections on change and transition. I had drafted something quickly a few weeks before and sent it off to the minister to review, and then turned my attention to finals and my graduation speech, which I was super nervous about. Graduation day comes, followed by the all-night graduation party. And the next morning, bleary-eyed and utterly exhausted, I stumble into worship for Youth Sunday and discover that nobody else wrote anything at all. I am essentially giving the sermon. My first sermon ever. Surprise! I guess it went pretty well. I know that my mom cried, and so did a lot of the other grown-ups in my church family. Here's the weird thing, though, is it didn't stress me out, because I knew, without a doubt, that in that room I was held in love. I knew that whatever I said, whatever I did, whoever I became, they would still love me. It is an incredible gift to give to a person. In a world that constantly tries to convince us that we need to earn love and respect by conforming, by changing, by people-pleasing, It makes a world of difference to grow up held by a community that's grounded in unconditional acceptance. I was nurtured by an extended network of grown-ups who saw me as I really was, who offered their wisdom, but let me make my own decisions. These wonderful people took me hiking and read me stories and supervised activities and hosted bonfires. But more important than the programming, they took it in stride as we youth tried on different identities until we found the one that fit. Now, I know that Ginger had a really similar experience growing up right here in this community. And I think the reason we make such a good team, or at least one of the reasons, is that we're both raised Unitarian Universalists. We know how transformative it is to be raised this way, to grow up loved this way. We have that lived experience, and we're trying to replicate it. It is not just abstract theory for us. We know what it's like to be given permission to grow organically rather than being urged or bullied or warped by other people's expectations or understandings of what being a good person looks like. We know what it does when we're seen, what happens when we're seen as someone who has something to offer the wider community from a very young age. We are who we are because we were loved in this particular way. We were nurtured organically rather than shaped or trained. We were empowered rather than indoctrinated, and we were always, always free to become the most authentic version of ourselves. It is a remarkable way to grow up, and a remarkable way to keep growing through the lifespan. A lot of people start coming to this church because they want their kids to learn about religion and spirituality in this kind of loving and open environment. Most often they discover that they as grown-ups need it too, though. Whatever our age, I think we're hungry. We're hungry for a place where we get to let our guard down, where we get to be ourselves while becoming more fully ourselves. The process of becoming is an active process, not a passive receiving of information or even love. We grow and become as we step into leadership, as we offer our gifts, presence, insight, or service to others. You know, we have such a consumer mindset in this culture. I get the feeling sometimes that folks come to church because of what they think they're going to get. But what makes a religious community different from society at large is that we've created together a place where people are invited to give rather than buy. And that transformation happens through the gifts that we offer. In this community, our ground level assumption is that everyone has wisdom and insight to offer. Our elders offer wisdom that grows out of life experience. They tell the stories and myths that help us make sense of our living. Parents and teachers offer the latest and greatest ideas and practices and evolving understandings. Youth bring fire and passion and the courage of truth-telling. And our children, at the heart of this community, receive love and support and offer in turn joy and grace and laughter and that unfiltered wisdom that comes straight from the heart, not hindered by experience or learning or an awareness of injustice. And all of us, whatever age, bless one another by insisting on seeing every single human as gifted and capable, by asking one another, what do you need to shine? This culture isn't created by accident. It takes a lot of intention and work. We are so, so, so lucky to have Ginger. And I want to invite you to think about your gifts and whether you might feel a call to share in this ministry with Ginger. You know how the pastoral ministers share the pastoral ministry with me, and the worship team shares the worship ministry with me. It's time. It's probably past time. We need to create a team of people to hold our ministry of faith formation, our ministry of supporting learning and growth, and helping people shine. So, think about it. And now, it's time to bridge our graduating seniors. You ready? I invite Lex and Kaylin forward. And we're going to have you stand on this side of the sanctuary. We want the young adults to stand on this side of the sanctuary. And we need the youth, the high school, and the middle school youth to stand over here as well. Youth, young adults. I think we need a few more young adults. We define that pretty loosely. So we need a few more grown-ups, please. Thank you.
Yay. The bridging ceremony marks a transition from being youth to being a young adult, an adult within this congregation and within the wider Unitarian Universalist community. We're not saying goodbye to you, Kayleen and Lex, at least not yet. And I hope it's not ever a true goodbye. But you are saying goodbye to that part of your identity which is child or youth. And we're inviting you to embrace your identity as an adult in the world.
And we're not saying this just to rub your nose in it. We've all been where you are. We know that this is a hard moment. We're saying this because to transition from one stage to another, you have to let go. To embrace your future, you have to let go of your past. So, take a deep breath. Say goodbye to your identity as a youth in whatever way feels right. You can give hugs or handshakes to the people in the circle, and then when you're ready, you're going to move from one side of the room to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So now we invite the adults and the non-bridging youth to go back to your seats. Kaylin and Lexi, stay up here.
Our bridging ceremony serves to mark your transitions, but it also serves to remind you that you will be held in love by this community wherever you go, whatever you do, no matter what. To help you remember, we give you these chalices, a gift from the congregation. And I invite you to light your chalices from our shared congregational chalice in acknowledgement of all the ways, great and small, the people here have supported you and helped you become the amazing people you are today. From your Sunday school teachers when you were little, to your youth advisors, to the people who donated money to the youth group, to the folks who led con and summer camp that you've both attended, and to everyone who worked hard to keep this place open, to build our beautiful addition, everything that allowed you to call this your church home. I invite you to turn and look at the congregation and feel those connections. Feel the way you've been held in this love of a web of care, shaped, but not altered. Know that we'll always continue to be here for you, no matter what. At our service of dedication, babies were given roses. You can walk over to Elizabeth. They were given roses at the beginning of their time with us into our church community, but they were tightly closed buds and stems where the thorns were carefully removed. These buds were the symbol of life and just the beginning, whose unfolding we, just as they, will experience petal by petal. And the thornless stems were vivid images of our deepest desire to protect our youngest from all that could be harmful. But now you're on the edge of childhood, and once more we use this rose as a symbol, recalling images from the past. But now they're not the tight buds of babyhood anymore, but larger, closer to opening and full into glorious flower. And careful, because the stems are not stripped of their thorns this time. I did warn them ahead of time. Because we can no longer hold away the hurt and dangers of adulthood any more than we can keep these buds from opening. Though life is occasionally sharply painful, as well as rich in color and texture, we urge you to engage in it fully. And while we are no longer able to protect you, we hope that we have given you the tools you need to survive and thrive. Lastly, we have a book of poetry written by Unitarian Universalists who themselves were emerging into young adulthood at the time of their writings. And we hope this will help you guide your way forward with the help of other young adults.
We hope we've given you the tools you'll need to survive and thrive. Values by which to measure lives of worth, decision-making skills, and the knowledge of how to think instead of only what we think. A heritage of the right of conscience and the need to act on what conscience demands, and a religious community in which to test and refine the possible directions of your lives. We have the slideshow.
Along with some music, beautiful music. So Kayleen and Lex, we bless you. May your journey know joy and contentment and satisfaction.
May it also know pain and disappointment in just enough measure to grow within you good character and compassion.
May both character and compassion guide your lives.
May you never feel alone.
May you always feel love around you from family and friends and from that great holy source beyond us all.
May you always offer your love to the world.
May you walk your path through the light and darkness with hope and faith and grace.
We bless you and we welcome you to our circle.
You are bright and beautiful young humans with bright and beautiful futures unfolding before you. We honor you just as you are. We believe in you, that you will face whatever challenges life brings you with courage and grace, and we will be here for you no matter what.
In all that you are and all that you are becoming, know that your light is held now and always in a web of love and light that is vast and unbreakable, stretching back into the unknown, forgotten past and forward into unknown futures. We love you, we believe in you, and you'll carry us with you wherever you go. You may rejoin the congregation. group, we want to take a moment to acknowledge adults who had major life transitions or milestones this year. So maybe you graduated from college or trade school, were honored with an award, or retired. Maybe you entered a new way of being in the world, confirming and living out more fully your identity in your body or your mind. Maybe you discovered something about yourself and made a major decision or a change. You're all welcome to be honored at this moment. Some of the transitions will be highlighted in our slideshow. Maybe your transition will remain in your heart, but it's no less significant. We invite now the adults who experience transition to come forward. Travis and Marissa Brackney were married in September at TCEI. Miles Oshko received a promotion. Bob and Linda Pike celebrated 58 years of marriage. On April 10th, after a 2.5-year wait, Juno Peterson Pope got heart surgery. On June 5th, Kara and Mia Wright will be celebrating 1 year of married, and a week later, they'll be celebrating a year living in home. Your life's path has taken a major step this year, and we honor your continued engagement in the journey of life. As a gift, we offer this crystal to hang in your window, reminding you that yours is a life that has caught the light through years of dedication and growth and brilliance, and now scatters that light into rainbows for others to see. Just as the sun transforms a simple prism into a spectrum of beauty, so too does this moment reflect the many colors of life in transition, accomplishment, change, and the enduring spark that continues to shine into new beginnings.
And if your transition is still in your heart and you didn't come up, there are plenty of sun catchers if you would like one. And finally, today is the part I insisted on with Elizabeth. We can have adults sit down. We're going to honor someone who has helped guide so many others through times of growth and transformation. I'm going to have you stand back up. I know you don't like this. This is for me. As our beloved Reverend Elizabeth prepares to leave this congregation and begin a new chapter of ministry, we want to pause and recognize the care, wisdom, flexibility, and love that you've shared with this community. Oh, if you cry, I'm not going to make it. Ministry asks us again and again to enter the unknown with open hearts, trusting that transformation awaits us there. As you begin this journey, we offer 2 small gifts. Alora, will you actually go get the basket at the very bottom in the middle? The first gift is a tarot deck. It was given by our worship team, and it's to symbolize reflection, wisdom, intuition, and trust in the unfolding path ahead. May it remind you that even in uncertainty, there is meaning, guidance, and possibility. The second is a shirt. Sam came up with this. This says, Semper Gumby, always flexible. Because you have taught us that adaptability, openness, and a willing to bend without breaking are at the heart of meaningful ministry and congregation. Elizabeth, may your new ministry bring you joy, discovery, connection, and deep purpose. May you continue to guide others while you stay open to being guided yourself. And may you always know that a part of your story is here with us, forever woven into the story of this congregation.
I don't think you guys realize how there have been so many moments where I haven't known what to do. And the only piece of clarity that's come up is just go get Ginger. She's the best. Y'all are...
Rescued someone out of the elevator. Not exaggerated.
I may be the minister, but her ministry is the heart of this place. So please just take good care of her, okay?
Number 1053. How can anyone stand as you're willing and able?
This is too long. Should we do it anyway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So this is a litany, which means we'll read a part and then you have a part. It's long enough. You can sit down if you want. This is a litany for becoming. To become is a lifelong process. Nothing is constant, not even the self. We evolve in the midst of narratives meant only for some and ways of being made narrow by fear and power. We must then have the courage to listen to the truth of our own lives, to the wisdom that comes from within, responding without resistance or need to control, but with welcome and curiosity. This is what ensures our becoming is an unfolding of our truest self. This lifelong labor cannot be carried out alone. It requires help from friends and lovers, family, and creaturely companions who bear witness to what makes us come alive and say to us, listen, look, feel, pay attention to that. This is loving
And being loved. Telling the stories, sharing the memories, giving thanks for the relationships, understandings, and experiences past that have shaped us to this day.
This is loving and being loved. Celebrating new beginnings that excite, holding risks together, leaning into unknowns with the promises of support and companionship. This is loving and being loved.
Listening to the future, calling uniquely to each of us in the midst of all life's noise, helping one another find our place in the shared labor of collective life, supporting each other in what is the world's ache is asking from us.
This is loving and being loved. To say for the first time, this is who I am. This is the truth of my body. This is what I know about myself. This is my name, and this is where my path is leading me. And to have it heard, have it received, have it affirmed, and then to say it again and again as we change and as the world changes, and to have each proclamation greeted with an open-armed embrace. This is loving and being loved.
There is no me without you. We shape one another. The sacred that birthed us weaves our lives together so that we can only find ourselves through shared becoming. For my journey with all its winding ways, for yours, for all the saints who labored for what is, for all kin whose lives made ours possible, for all those yet to come for whom living our truths today will mean breaking possibilities open for them tomorrow. We pause, we give thanks, we acknowledge.
This is loving and being loved. Please join me in the words to embody our chalice flame. We extinguish this chalice, that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light our paths as we leave this place. May it guide our way until we are together again. So this is the difference, right? You know, some loves try to control, try to coerce, try to shape. The love that holds us, it just helps us become. And it's gentle and fierce, and it asks for courage, but more than that, it asks for truth and authenticity. And if I've learned anything from you all, it's that you can trust that. You can trust that process, that love. Go in peace. Come back next Sunday.